It's a destination, right? There's a lot of sponsorship going on in these parts here. This is the destination for the people that are coming from their Bollywood to this here Bramwood. This place is the landing spot. So if you're out there and you haven't heard of Brampton or Mississauga, it's possible you haven't. It's understandable. But yeah, learn the language, expand with some people, come to this country here, watch how your opportunities skyrocket. You know, I'm not necessarily a consultant on travel, am I? And on life choices and all. But man, if you're an Indian man or woman, I feel like you might as well come to Brampton. Build from here. You can get a job. That's one of the foundations right there. You start up right there, you're pretty set to go. Of course, you need to be sponsored and all. But you can work on that, right? Sponsorship. You have services around here. Buildings here I see that serve mainly Indian immigrants. So, and such. So, there's, the language is spoken here. The comfort is there. The connections are there. It's easy to kind of not so much pick up where you left off from your other country, but at least you're leaving and coming to a place where you have some familiarity, if that's what you're looking for, which can lead to some sense of relief and support, and it's not too dangerous or too risky. I know how it feels to go to a country and live and be more or less kind of one of 10, 1 of 10, feeling like that, like out of millions, like just a few of us here. So, and we're still humans, right? So it's all good to connect and move and, elevate, learn some new things, explore, expand your mind, maybe even kind of close off some other parts of your mind, not so much, but certain other patterns, let's say. So yeah, try some new things and see your ways from a different view. And, sometimes you find some positive gains, some areas to improve on. Sometimes, it's good to explore like that. So I would do that. All right. I think one thing I can say is that Canadian bureaucracy is thick. When you're trying to get things processed, it takes time. It really takes accuracy and time. It's not that the demand for accuracy is a negative thing. No, it's not. It's just that there's not much flexibility in the way you get it done, specifically in this area. It's like you're kind of left out there with the robots, interact with the robots and get this back to us. Yes, sir, I got you. Perhaps it's the system that doesn't have as many universal agents, quote unquote, who can do multiple tasks within said organization. Right? If we had more of that, then perhaps the application process might go a little smoother. I say that in a different sense, perhaps of other companies I worked at. Something comes to the mailroom. It's just in the mailroom. Within 24 hours, it's got to be out to the next the area. Then from there, it's got to be out from there, whatever, within the next 24 hours, or whatever the processing time is. And then if there's an issue with one thing, the signature's wrong here, or the number's wrong, it's like, well, I can't personally change it on the application, but I clearly can see that this is the number. So I'm going to send it back to them. I'm going to send it back. And the next day it gets sent to the mailroom. And then the mailroom ships it out. And then the next day it comes here. Then it's shipped. And 7 days, whatever, 3, 4, whatever, however many days later, it comes to your house. And then you're late. And the whole thing's late. You got to send it back again. And the whole thing starts again. It's a bit much, It really is a bit much. If that's all you know, then that's all you know, and you'll deal with it really well. You'll be fine with it. Other experiences in other places I've seen and being, it's just not that way. There are other ways. I think Canada is definitely making steps to be more modern, um, and more of a future. As a matter of fact, not so much modern, not so much to say that, you want to push the ball too hard. You don't need to push too hard. I think we've got all the convenience we need in this world. I mean, we could have a lot more, but we're doing pretty well already, I think. So, but still, thinking of ways to clean up, especially things like our recycling and stuff like that. Canada's projecting one image, but it seems as though we might be living another one. The average person, you know, I would say wastes a lot of food, whereas in some other countries, they would eat that same food. They just might cut off that part. For example, I mean, saw a man come through the other day, and he had his hand, amputated, and it was like, man, I just wanted to touch it. Like, I just wanted to touch the arm, the what do they call that? The nub, not the nub. What's the word I'm looking for? Somebody help me out. But I just wanted to touch it because I don't think I've ever really felt that, and I felt a human's bones and skin. Like, it's kind of unique, if you feel me, right? But anyway, you know, he's still functional. He still does what he needs to do. He's got two other legs. He's got another hand, and a whole arm and a body, a heart. He's still elevating himself, advancing himself as a human, right? He's still with the humans. I mean, cut off the part and down the thing. But I can't tell people what to do. This is how they want to live their life. It's how I want to live my life. If I grew my own food in the backyard of or the yard of my estate, or when we decide to do that, when we reach that level, I'm gonna grow something and I'm gonna cut off the part that I don't want to eat, but I'm gonna eat the rest though. Perhaps it's the feeling that it's grown by somebody else. If you grew that, I'm pretty sure you wouldn't really want to be wasting it. Just cut off the part. I could be wrong. Somebody help me out. Is there a reason why I shouldn't eat it? But anyway, let's not dwell on that part too much. I do think Canadians are becoming more aware of their power with that nice blue passport. They're becoming more aware of it and what it means for those who don't have certain options and opportunities. So the ones that are here, that made it here, and that are around us and among us, there's some respect to be given because they probably have to work a little bit harder than you so far in life in general. So just consider that perhaps if you haven't already.